Hey you guys, Beth Butati here, and today we are going to do not only a review but also a giveaway. But to get to the giveaway part of it, you have to watch until the end. Okay, so I apologize in advance. I do have something in my mouth, and it's like the cardinal rule of YouTube and like video recording in general is you don't put things in your mouth. But I can't stop eating. I'll show you the pack that you can actually see. These. Oh my god, I got these in a Facebook giveaway and I can't stop eating them. The problem is they do have caffeine, so I might be a little excited during this review, so just ignore that. Actually, it really is a problem. Couldn't sleep last night. Have to stop eating them after like 4. What we're actually here to talk about today are these guys. Now, I have them in their own little cup right now because I wanted to keep them as a focus on my desk, so I remembered to keep using them. I got these a little over a week, maybe almost 2 weeks ago, and I've been using them like every day since. I haven't been wearing like a full face every single day, but I do usually put on some sort of base or some sort of eye, depending on what I'm doing that day. So I also sometimes just don't wear anything because I don't work right now, so why not enjoy the break to my face? I've been using them a lot. I feel confident that I can do this review now. So for this set of 10 brushes, it is $10.99. Now, generally speaking, when brushes are $10.99, they end up being crap. These are not crap. I'm excited about that because I was worried. I actually really like this set. There are a few brushes in the set that are just kind of eh for me, but the ones that I do like more than make up for the price, so it's kind of a win no matter what. Brushes in particular that I do love, this guy, and this guy, and this guy. But I will get more in depth into why I like those so much during the actual individual breakdown. So I will get more in depth, don't worry. As far as actual shipping, it's really fast. I was expecting it to take like weeks to get here, and it got here within a couple of days, between 3 and 5 days. I don't remember exactly how many days. And I was shocked by that because I was expecting them to take up to 2 or 3 weeks, as is quoted on the website. So they did get to me very quickly. That said, I don't know if that's always that fast. I think it kind of varies by item because I think some items ship from overseas and some items ship for here in the US. So yeah, they got here really fast. Customer service was really nice. I was contacted to do this review, total disclaimer. They asked me if I wanted to review something with the company. I said of course. They let me pick what I wanted to review, and of course I wanted to review brushes because we're always looking for affordable synthetic brushes. So that is what I ended up picking, and then they also sent me a set to give away. So this is how they showed up. They are in a sealed plastic bag, and then on top of it, each individual brush is in a little sealed sleeve. I don't want to open this one up because this is the one I'm giving away. But yeah, it arrived like that in a bubble mailer. So it was in a padded envelope. Everything arrived quickly and safely, so no complaints as far as shipping time and actual packaging go. Customer service was super helpful. Unfortunately, I can't. That is the one thing about like a sponsored review, like sponsored as in they sent me the product, not sponsored as in paid. I don't do paid reviews. It's a little bit harder to judge what the actual shipping and customer service process is like, but hopefully most of the time you don't have to deal with customer service within a company. So there is always that, you know, hopefully. So overall, I'm really happy with these, especially for the price. Like I said, one of these brushes is easily worth the $10.99, and the fact that like I found uses for all of the brushes, but the fact that I really love 3 of the brushes at an $11 price point is fantastic. So the other ones I'll definitely continue to use and find ways to use them, but like these 3 are now like in my regular rotation holy grail brushes. So totally worth the $10.99. Outside of that, I don't feel like there's much else to say that I don't cover in the individual like brush breakdown, so let's just go look at how they applied product. Instead of just telling you about the brushes, I'm going to actually show them in action as I talk about them. So right now my face is hydrated, it's primed, I have on eye primer, I have on face primer, and I have on lip balm. So we're going to be able to just dive right into this without having to grab those things. So the first brush I'm going to grab is actually in the set, they don't have names on them, so it's like the rounded buffing brush. we're gonna actually use that with our Kat Von D, and I kind of use Kat Von D as like the ultimate test because it can be really hard to work with. What I have found with this is because it is so soft but yet dense, it does a really, really good job of working with the Kat Von D. I can stipple with it, I can buff. What I considered a true stippling brush, no. But for the Kat Von D, it works really, really well with it. I would say like the whole collection is worth getting this one brush alone. More or less the fact that there are several brushes I like in this collection. I usually use one full pump of Kat Von D and I still have that much left. So we're gonna take this brush, and I'm not as broken out as I was. I broke out really, really bad when we moved to Ohio, but as you saw when I didn't have any makeup on yet, it's healing up pretty nicely actually. So just kind of covering a little bit of texture that I still have from that. This does a really, really good job of stippling everything on. So like over here, I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but there's definitely discoloration and texture there. So stippling and then buffing out. And it just covers like a dream. So I do really, really like this brush in the collection. And the other way I've been using it is I've actually used it to blend out my concealer. Like I said, it just does a really good job with stippling and buffing. So I really, really like it in general for all of my like creamy complexion products. If I was using a cream contour, I would probably mess with this for that too. Although I wouldn't have to because there is a brush in the collection that's better for a cream contour. Since I already have my eyelids primed, I'm just gonna blend this up here. The primer I used doesn't have a corrector color, so it didn't do nearly as good of a job of canceling out the discoloration in my eyelids. But you can see this blends it out like a dream. It looks super smooth. So there also really wasn't a brush that I loved for setting my under eye concealer out of this collection. What I'm gonna use is like the pointed brush, but I feel like this brush would do a lot better with like cream highlighters and things like that. But I am gonna go ahead and use it to press powder under the eyes. I do like that it's like a tapered tip and it has a lot of control. It's super soft, but it is stiff, so it's really good for, I would use it with cream highlighters and things like that. I don't like it with concealer, however, because my concealer is pretty liquidy, so I feel like it would just get super streaky. But if my concealer were more of a creamy texture, I think it would have worked a lot better. But the concealer I use is just not creamy. Now when it comes to setting the face, there is not a brush in this collection that I like for that, so I'm just going to grab my Makeup Forever. This is the 122 Straight and Wavy. There just wasn't one in the collection that I felt like was big enough for the way I set my face. So we're going to go with good old 122. And at some point the mail is going to come, and when it does, I'm going to go running out to my mailbox, so you've been warned that at some point I'm going to be like, oh, hold on. So when I'm contouring lately, what I've been using is, I have been using, again, I don't have names. I don't know why I keep expecting to be able to say a name. So in the collection, I want to put these side by side so you know exactly which one I'm talking about. So this is the rounded one that we use for foundation. So these are both angled cut versus this is round. So one is very flat cut and the other one is more soft and rounded. We're going to use this one. So I take this. I've been using it with my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil because I trust Too Faced Chocolate Soleil to do what I expect it to do. And what I'm doing, and this has actually helped me correct too, I was kind of contouring a little low, but using this brush has helped with that. So literally starting back and then just brushing up. And this does a really, really good job of applying and blending. I really love this brush for this reason. And then I haven't been contouring around the top of my face as much, but for today's purposes, we will go ahead and do so. When it comes to blush, I haven't actually been liking any of the brushes in this collection. This one would probably be really good for blushes, but I use it for foundation, so that's kind of the trade-off. This one here I have been using more so for highlights. So let's try this one for blush. I honestly haven't tried it that way yet, so this is going to be an adventure for both of us. I'm a little scared. okay, this actually makes a pretty nice blush brush. So then we're gonna grab the flat one, or the angled flat one, I should say. And we're gonna use Champagne Pop today, because why not? So you can either do that sweeping motion, or you can also take this and pat it in. Either one is gonna give you a really pretty highlight. Let's talk about the eye brushes real quick, because the only thing I don't love about this collection is there is no flat synthetic brush, which I think is kind of a big miss with this collection, because one flat synthetic brush would have been great for cream eyeshadows, for any creamy products, because it would be synthetic, and even for powder eyeshadows. But there is nothing like that here. So what I have found is that with this brush collection, I have had to supplement it with this guy, because I just needed something that could pack on color a little better. And I've used other ones that I own too. Namely, I've used this one a lot as I break things. So what I will say, of all of the eyeshadow brushes, this shape is obviously my favorite, because of course a rounded fluffy crease brush is always going to be my favorite. So I'm going to grab the Becca again, and we're going to go ahead and put on our, ooh, the mail truck's across the street. I told you guys, can't control myself. Go ahead and put this on the inner corner. So again, I honestly, I wish there was a flat brush in the collection, but this makes up for it, because you'll see I use this multiple ways. So what I have tried to do is I've tried to use these two as crease brushes. Again, these are the exact same shape as the larger size brushes, so keep that in mind. These are gonna work the same way. I will say, if I were working with a cream eyeshadow, I could make this work, but I even tried using this with my ColourPop stuff, and I just got frustrated with it. So it exists. I do like this below the eye though. I have used it a lot for that. So I've used these two as crease brushes. This one's a little bit denser, as you can see. This one's a little bit more givey. So when I'm trying to apply and blend a crease color, I'm using this, and we'll just use Too Faced. So the way I'm using it is I'm taking it like this, so long edge down, popping it directly into my crease, and just blending back and forth. So this would be good for applying your transition shade, because it's a really soft application. But if you were trying to build up your crease, you would get very frustrated with this. So then I can follow with this again and go in with a deeper shade. So I'm just gonna grab my Smashbox Full Exposure palette as I again throw brushes. We're gonna just take that darkest brown color in here on this guy, and right in the crease, you'll see this definitely gives you more application. So you can see that does do a better job of building up the crease, but I still have the problem that nothing works really well on the lid. And I tried using this flat one for that, and I'll go ahead and show you how that works. I'm gonna mix together the two light shades in here, the highlight shades, and just kind of try to do back and forth motions, and you kind of get patchy application at best. So then on the other eye, we're going to use it in more of a stippling motion. And that's a little bit better, but still, I just feel like it's going to be way too much work versus just using a flat shader brush. So what I do want to show you is how I use this brush, and I'm going to use one of the ColourPop eyeshadows. This may have been a terrible color to choose for this. I finished applying a mirror below my eyes, as you can see. Again, I was just, the way I had found that I like using that brush the best. The other brushes, this one, I really haven't found a reason to love it other than I'll just go in and blend with it as a clean, fluffy brush. Other than that, I don't feel like it has enough density to do anything else on its own. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my face, because I don't need brushes for the rest of what I need to do, and then we're going to actually come back with some final thoughts. Overall, I am really, really happy with these brushes. Like I said, I definitely think they're worth the price point, and I am looking forward to working with other T-Mart products. Yes, 2 very big thumbs up. Very, very happy with the products and the price. Like I said, some of these are a little more on the soft side, so you do have to get a little creative with the way you use them. But I think just because some of these are very non-traditional shapes. So the powder or the face size brushes, I found uses for all of them. the eye ones are where it got a little bit trickier. I feel like maybe I might need to stop thinking of these as eye brushes and try them for like concealer and things like that. Not under eye concealer, because you guys saw how much concealer I put on under my eyes, but like for blemishes and things like that, I might be able to find some more uses for them, especially the flat one with concealer on blemishes. It would probably do a really good job of stippling in concealer. So I think that would be the big thing, is I might have to get a little more creative with some of the brushes that aren't traditional to what I'm used to. But again, for $10.99, the set is so worth it. So getting into the giveaway details, I'm gonna just use Rafflecopter. Rafflecopter is the easiest way to do giveaways, and it also prevents spamming on the comments and things like that. So don't comment below with please pick me, because if you do, I'm just gonna delete it, because this isn't that kind of giveaway. And then YouTube gets mad at me, then they take down the video, then nobody wins. So I will put a Rafflecopter link in the down bar. Please go enter. I would love to send these to somebody. We are going to do this in US only, because like I already said, I save international shipping for like big giveaways. So this is going to be in the US only. You do have to be 18 or older or have your parents' permission, because if you win, I do have to send things to an address that you provide me. Outside of that, pretty straightforward. On the Rafflecopter, it'll give you lots of different mandatory and optional ways to enter. Obviously, the mandatory one is always going to be that you have to be my subscriber. My giveaways are for my subscribers because I love you guys. I mean, I'm not going to be cheesy and be like, oh my god, I love you, you're my best friend. But like, I appreciate that you guys support me. So yeah, that is going to be the only mandatory thing here. There will be a lot of other options to enter, though, for people who use Instagram and all that kind of stuff. A big thank you to T-Mart for not only my brushes, but also the brushes that one of you guys are going to win. I don't know when the giveaway will end. All of the details will be in the down bar below. The Rafflecopter, I obviously did not plan ahead, because it's me. When do I ever plan? All right, guys, I'm excited, and I can't wait to see who wins. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.